Let me tell you something a lot of people do not want to hear. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family, not a relationship, not even luck. The life you dream about, you have to build it because a soft life actually requires hard work. Today we're talking about building your soft life as a woman because soft life isn't about being lazy.
If your goal was to eat, you cannot complain about having a lot on your plate. A lot of women claimed that they wanted the soft life. You want to be a soft girly. I get it. But most of you do not want to do what it takes to get to that point. When the girls in tech, law, finance, and healthcare got on here and showed you guys what living a soft life looked like, you were so in love. That's exactly the life that you wanted. But I can bet majority of you are not willing to put in the work that it takes to get to that point. Law school, med school, nursing school, grad school, these are not easy tasks. But you go through that hard time so that on the other side, you can have a much easier life. A lot of people want to get into entrepreneurship because they like the idea of not being on anyone else's time, having their own schedule. But the downside of that is you're not on a schedule. You have to decide everything. It is very tedious work. So reevaluate what you really want, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't actually want a soft life. You want to be treated like a baby. Good luck with that.
The real tea is that a soft life is being able to do what you want when you want to do it without having to ask somebody for permission. So if you're relying on a man, or even worse, waiting for a man to save you, your life is probably not going to be soft. In fact, it's likely going to be very hard, tumultuous, if you will. If you really want your life to be soft, you need to have your own motion. And then if and when you choose to date or get married, do so with someone with even more motion. That's very, very soft. Sitting around and hoping and praying and begging a man, not soft at all. Please don't let the internet fool you into thinking that going to Pilates and owning a pink workout set is indicative of a soft life. If you want your life to feel good, you have to live on your own terms. As soon as you're living by somebody else's terms, your life is no longer soft. I can promise you that. And when faced with the options to bet on yourself or to bet on a man, please always bet on yourself.
The truth is, most successful people didn't get where they are because someone rescued them. They made difficult decisions, they learned new skills, they stayed consistent even when they didn't feel like it. You have to become your own rescue plan because when you realize no one is coming to save you, that's when your life begins to actually change.
I'm gonna ask a question, but I need you to be honest. Have any of you women living with a man actually achieved the soft life? Because the other day I was sitting at my girlfriend's house and I came over after I leisurely woke up at 9:30. No kids, so I got to sleep in till whenever I wanted. Scrolled on my phone for a little bit. Then I go over to my girlfriend's house and she has a cookie butter latte waiting for me. And we sit in her beautifully decorated, clean apartment and we're just chatting. And our conversations are filled with so much depth. She makes sure, do you need a water? Is your coffee too sweet? Is it just how you like it? I'm having the best time. And then it hits me. I go, my God, I have just achieved the soft life. I say, look what's happening right in front of us, Bailey. We have achieved the soft life. And I think, my God, they have lied to us. Because here's the thing, I've been in plenty of relationships. I lived with my last long-term partner and I thought I wanted to live together so bad because I was so in love. But the emotional labor I had to constantly perform as someone who was very emotionally intelligent and was with a partner who was not, was exhausting. It was draining. The relationship wasn't the best. So yes, we were fighting with each other, but even on our best days, even when I'm like, this is my person, this is my best friend, I was still doing much more labor. The emotional labor was chronic, even if we weren't in a fight, because he didn't have to develop those skills. He grew up in the patriarchy. He didn't have to think about other people. Even when he wasn't trying, there was an undercurrent of selfishness. And then I was cooking every single day and I cook for myself every single day. But guess what? My food lasts. The food would never last. Constant grocery store trips. And the conversations had nowhere near the amount of depth, the amount of kindness to the world. My cortisol levels were so high, and I guess I will acknowledge was not in a healthy relationship, because I know people are going to come in and say, well, I have a good one. But I want you to really think, even at the best, I really think if you're at the point where you can provide for yourself financially, you will have the most stress-free life. My life is so stress-free right now. I never cry anymore. I feel like whenever I have a partner that I bring into my life, the men make me cry. They do something where I'm crying. They disappoint me where I'm crying. No one's here to disappoint me. Even when I date a good man and maybe the conflict is respectful, the emotional stuntedness of it, even if they're willing to learn, is exhausting. I don't know. I always used to think that I wanted marriage and kids, and I'm just like, why actually would I? Like, this is the soft life. Why would I get rid of my soft life right now?
Neville Goddard called it pruning the vine. Carl Jung called it individuation. I call it the necessary discomfort of becoming. This is what it actually looks like to starve your old identity. Your old identity doesn't die all at once. It starves. Every time you choose differently, every time you speak up when you used to stay quiet, set a boundary where you used to collapse, move toward what you want instead of waiting for permission, you're withdrawing energy from the old version of you. And she fights back. She shows up as doubt and the voice that says, who do you think you are? And the sudden urge to go back to what was comfortable, even though you know it doesn't fit anymore. Even though it can feel like you're doing it wrong, this is really a sign that your old identity is losing its grip. Here's what you have to know. You don't starve the old identity by hating it. You starve it by withdrawing attention, by choosing differently, by feeding the new version with every small, consistent, and self-backed decision that you make. She doesn't need to be destroyed. She just needs to be outgrown and evolved. This is what you're likely already doing. I call it the necessary discomfort of becoming.
Maybe a hot take or whatever, but some of you are so wrapped in the idea of a soft life or the aesthetics of it, the appearance of a soft life, that you ironically are making life harder for you. And one thing that people have to get in their brain is just because a road appears easier doesn't necessarily mean it is easier. Sometimes it's just delayed difficulty. And for example, when I first moved to LA for school, I met a plethora of women who, from the outside looking in, you would be so convinced they were living the ideal soft life, right? Waking up whenever, random activities on a Tuesday, taking trips, Pilates, working out. Life just seemed so easy for them. And meanwhile, I had 8 a.m. class in the morning. In my conversation with a lot of these women at the time, they were either waiting for a man to save them, going to figure it out later, or a lot of things like doing the work was just too hard. Message for my girlies, especially my young girlies: just because a road appears easier doesn't mean it necessarily is, okay? Sometimes it's just delayed. And what I learned is I did the hard things early. I invested in myself. I did the work. I made sacrifices. I prioritized discipline. And for that, my life became softer because of that, not in spite of it. I think sometimes we misconstrue things and we take it to the extreme and we say work is anti-soft, and when really work sometimes is pro-self. There is nothing anti-soft about pursuing yourself, working towards your dreams, working towards the desires of your heart, and making it happen for yourself. Again, a lot of these women that I come across were waiting for a man to fund their life. There is nothing soft about having to depend on someone for you to eat, sleep, breathe, spend money, whatever. There is nothing soft about lacking autonomy, peace of mind, stability, independence. There is truly nothing luxurious about quitting on yourself because it feels too hard. Again, a lot of the women you see who are truly living a soft life, they did the work. Soft life requires hard work. Sometimes it might look like doing things differently than what everyone else is doing around you. It might be sitting out of a couple things. It might be saying, well, that's out of my budget right now. It might be stepping out and not partaking in all the fun because you have a mission and you have a vision. What you do now has consequences later, whether you like them or you love them, and that's for you to choose, right? That's for you to decide. Life isn't just going to magically become softer because you sit back and sit in a robe and think that blessings will just fall out the sky. Like, you are going to have to meet your vision, your faith with work.
You cannot scroll your way into success. You cannot sleep your way into confidence. You cannot procrastinate your way into financial freedom, because every goal has a price, and that price is usually consistency. The future version of you is dependent on the choices you make today.
don't know if a lot of women are going to understand this, but I am prepared as a woman to work for the rest of my life. I am equipped and prepared, and I actually want to do it. And the reason I say this is because there is no way in hell that I am putting my livelihood, my freedom, my income into the hands of someone else, like a man. Okay, I am rejecting the soft life on somebody else's terms. If I get the soft life, it's going to be on my terms. It's not going to be on anybody else's terms. And it's just not going to happen. I would rather work for the rest of my life than to ever put that kind of power into somebody else's hands. And the other thing is, I'm a highly ambitious person. I'm wildly ambitious. Every goal that I set, I end up getting. And so I know what I'm capable of. I also know that I am so talented. I am so smart. There is so much that I can create in this world that I don't have to do that. I don't have to go to that extreme. And so I actually want to and am prepared to work for the rest of my life.
To have a soft life, you have to work hard. To have a soft life, you need to work hard. You need to go to work. You need to work hard. You need to work today, tomorrow, yesterday, all the days. Okay, if you're a young woman and you're not rolling around in the millions, and even if you are, to maintain them, you've got to go to work. You need to be passionate about what you want to do, be consistent at it, and go for it. Okay, people are looking at women like Kim Kardashian and Jada Wader and all these people online. Do you think that they're just sitting around? No, darling, they're working hard. And the thing is, they live a soft life, but they work hard, okay? Whatever it is that they're doing. When you see those women and you think, oh my God, how are they such a powerhouse? Do you know why? Because they go to work, they get up, they do the things that they need to do so that they have an easier life. So whilst they're working hard, they can hire help. They can buy the things that they want to buy. They can go on the holidays that they want to go on. They can, they have more free will because they work hard to have the money to buy the time and resources to do what they want. Okay, all your favorite influencers and celebrities live a soft life because they work hard. Even if they're celebrities and they're getting things easier or they have more access, it doesn't matter, they're still working hard. Okay, so all the girls that are business owners and they're thinking, oh my God, why am I not getting customers? Why am I not getting clients? Or whatever the things are. And then you're seeing the beautician or the girl who owns a fashion brand and you think, she's going on the holidays. Do you know why? Because she's getting to work. She's getting to work, right? We're removing that story as well. People are like, oh, she's a prostitute. Even if you're a prostitute, you've got to work hard. You've got to work hard, okay, to get the things that you want. The aim of what I'm saying is that nothing in this life is going to come for free, and you should stop trying to be a damsel in distress and waiting for something to be given to you. If you want something, go out there and go and do it, babes. I have the faith in you. You just don't have the faith in you. That's what it is. I know it's hard, right? No one wants to go to work, but you need to make working fun. Working needs to be fun. F-U-N, fun. Enjoy it, live it, love it. That's why you have to pick something that you're passionate about so that it turns into a competition, that you're chasing a high to be better and to level up in your field. Always do your best at whatever it is that you're pursuing to do, and you will see the success, okay? Work hard so you can have the soft life, babes. I'm sure I've spoken about this before anyways, but get to work.
Ladies, we are officially in our soft life era. We've officially reached the point in our life where we are no longer priding ourselves in damn near killing ourselves, doing everything, doing everybody's job, taking pride in the fact that we are running ourselves to the ground. We are officially in this soft girl life. And let me just tell you about that soft life. We're not waiting for our spouse to give it to us. We're creating a soft life for ourselves. And I have 5 things to help you get to that soft life. Number 1, we are getting our sleep. We are no longer staying up till stupid hours and waking up at the crack of dawn. We are going to prioritize sleep. We're going to get sleep and we're going to take naps. And when we take naps, we don't have to feel guilty. If you need a nap, take a nap. You need a nap. Nothing wrong with naps. Soft girls get their sleep. Number 2, we are asking for help. There's nothing wrong with delegating. There's nothing wrong with hiring somebody every now and again to do a deep clean to your house. Does it mean you're lazy? Absolutely not. It means that when you are off on a Saturday, you are not spending 8 hours busting your behind to get your house deep cleaned and doing all your baseboards and not spending time with your kids, not making time for joy. You're cleaning. You are going to set some money aside and every now and again get that house deep cleaned. Number 3, we're taking care of our feet. You do not need to be that person anymore with those heels that are so dry that they are cracked. You don't want to be that person that puts on those sandals and it's absolutely atrocious. You're taking care of your feet. And that does not necessarily mean that you have to be paying for consistent pedicures. If you need to pay for the tools, invest in the tools and the pumice stones and whatever else you need to smooth out those calluses and the corns and all the things and get those toes right. Because guys, here's the thing. You feel prettier when you have pretty feet. And even if you're the only one looking at those feet, take care of your feet. It's so important. Number 4 is a little bit private. You may find this inappropriate, but somebody's got to say it. We are cleaning out that underwear drawer. You are no longer wearing underwear with stains. You are no longer wearing underwear with holes. You are no longer wearing underwear that no longer has this elasticity. Also, you are wearing a bra that supports the girls. You're wearing a bra that fits. You're going to find out what your actual bra size is. Women who live a soft life, they take care of themselves, even the parts that no one else sees, even the part that nobody else will see and compliment them on. They feel it. They know that they are taking care of themselves and they know that they are putting things on their body that compliments them, that makes them feel pretty, that makes them feel feminine, and that gives them the support that they're supposed to have. Last but not least, in our soft girl era, we are prioritizing joy. We are doing hobbies. We are getting involved in activities that make us happy just for the sake of making us happy. Not everything that we engage in has to make us money. And not everything that we engage in has to involve a man, a significant other. It doesn't have to involve our kids. We're going to get back into things that make us happy for the sake of making us happy. Whether it's just reading a good book. Maybe you want to pick up gardening. Maybe you want to, the first time you've always wanted to learn how to play the piano. It is so important that you make your joy a priority, because what's going to happen is if you don't, you're going to live your life and you're going to get resentful, mean. You're going to develop ulcers because you don't speak your truth, because you put yourself last, because everybody matters but you. You don't want to be that person. It is a new day, girls. We are no longer trying to do everything and be everything for everyone. It sounds noble, it sounds wonderful, but we see how the story ends every time. You're mad, you're mean, you're empty, you feel like you're last on the totem pole. Those days are over. It doesn't have to be that way. And whether you're married or single, whether you have kids, no kids, treat yourself like you are living a soft life, and everyone will have to rise to the occasion.
I think more women should be planning out and also executing their lives as though nobody is coming. And when I say nobody is coming, I'm not talking about your friends and your family and your community being there for you and being able to support you, but I am talking about the fact that you may never have a romantic partner or a romantic companion that you perhaps in the earlier years of your life had thought you would be building all these things that you desire for yourself. So earlier this week, I had a conversation with a financial planner. I just wanted to see what services they offered, what products are currently in the market that I may not be aware of that I could channel my money towards. And as she asked me quite a few questions, and one of the questions was, well, what is, say, your goal in the next 3 or so years? And as I was laying out my plans to her, I actually said to her, about 2 or 3 years ago, I decided to live and execute my life with a full awareness that nobody is coming. that I will be buying a home by myself, that I will be making investment decisions by myself, that I will be planning for my retirement, planning for the distribution of my wealth amongst the people that I love on my own. And while this may sound quite bleak or quite sad, I actually have found it to be incredibly liberating, because what it does is that it pushes you into the clear realization that your life is not on pause, that this in fact is not an audition for something that is yet to come, that what is happening here and now, the present, this is your real life. And so in planning for your future, you need to look at the reality of your life now and execute as though you will be doing all these things on your own. And when I looked around me, particularly at the women who are older than me, that are in my family, be they my sisters, my cousins, women that I respect and admire in different areas of my life and even in the workplace, and the more conversations I had with them, all of them kept saying to me, this is how you actually need to be planning and executing your life. And so while it may not sound like the most fun thing, it may not even sound really optimistic, it is one of the things that I am always encouraging my friends to do. Plan your life and execute it as though nobody is coming for you. You are going to have to do it on your own. If you already have children, you are going to take your kids to that private school, to that illustrious school. You are going to give them their experiences. You are going to pay off the mortgage in this address that you have so desired for so long in your life. Because the reality of it is, if you do choose to pause, if you do say, oh, I will only go to such and such a city or visit such and such a country when I am partnered up, oh, I will only buy a house when I have a partner, oh, I will only start looking at financial plans, financial investments, my pension or my retirement, thinking that there's somebody that is coming, you are running a huge risk that you will forever have a pause on your life, and you will never really ever fully self-actualize nor secure your future, particularly in the years where you are much older and perhaps are unable to earn as much money as you currently do. So plan your life and execute it as though nobody is coming.
Nobody's coming to save you, and that's not bad news. It means your future is in your hands. The soft life you're dreaming about is possible, but it won't come from laziness. It will come from hard work, discipline, and commitment you choose every single day. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!